specific agenda items should sign in before the meeting starts. Don't think we have to worry about that. On the form on the board table. The board requests discussion time limit of 3 minutes on any specific agenda item, and we ask that visitors make only one appearance per item. We ask those addressing the board to speak from the podium and state their name and address. Board policy 0167.3 dictates that personnel issues will not be addressed. Concerns about individual employees of the district should be brought to the superintendent or designee. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodations should contact the superintendent at the school corporation central office. All this stuff is kind of mute right now, but the board of trustees respectfully requests the guests and visitors in attendance to be courteous and silence their cell phone. As always, we start with our meeting with a prayer. With us doing this right now, I'll go ahead and start with a prayer. So please join me. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to make it through another day. Please be with us and this situation we're in right now. It's definitely different for everybody. We're having to do meetings different. Everybody's having to do things different. But please be with those teachers and administrators and all the people that are part of our school system that are working their tails off to make things right, to do the best they can. Please be with all of our kids that are at home. They're adjusting to this too. Be with our seniors as they're missing out on some very important time in their life. And always please be with those that serve and protect us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, next thing is Pledge of Allegiance. And I'll go ahead and do that too. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
Of the United States
and to
of
the
America.
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
With
for all.
liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call. We do have everyone here except for Mr. Herr, and he's been excused. So we do have a quorum. Mission statement. Lisa.
Lebanon Community School Corporation will cultivate and reach every student by influencing their lives through the power of education.
All right, thank you. Superintendent announcements and celebrations.
Thank you, Mr. Bertrand. First, I would like to echo your thanks earlier in the prayer to our amazing staff and faculty, and we continue to try to give them accolades as this is all unfolded, but certainly our seniors as well, and all of the students who are stepping up. Obviously, they're doing a great job as well. Wanted to take a moment to celebrate our food service department's hard work and dedication providing meals to our students. Each Monday, they've distributed meal packets from 2 locations. This month, they have provided 5,190 packages for a total of 10,310 meals to our students in the community. And as a reminder, any student or child under the age of 18 is able to receive these meal packages. And again, they'll be doing that again on Monday at Hattie B. Stokes and Perry Worth. There's information on our website about that. Tomorrow, Lebanon Community School Corporation and the LHS administrators will begin delivering yard signs to every student in the class of 2020. We've provided some social media on that, so I think the folks have been looking forward to them. It's just a small way for us to show them how proud we are of them, and we look forward to the day that we can finally be together and celebrate with them. It may take a few days to get them all out. We've split that up among about a dozen administrators, and we didn't give them a timeline, but we're going to work very hard to get that done here within this week.
Day.
Yeah, it should be a nice day, and hopefully some decent weather to do that. Last week, I met with the senior class, officers, council, and LHS administrators to discuss plans for commencement. I just wanted to commend the students on their thoughtful planning. The alternate plans include a video tribute that we'll do on the day that graduation is currently scheduled for, and then traditional last walk through the halls of LHS, followed by a commencement ceremony in August with our fingers crossed. We have some contingency plans that we're kind of holding tightly to just in case if the August date doesn't work, but we're going to be hopeful that we're going to be able to pull it off in August, but we'll obviously follow the public health guidelines on that. The food pantry at Hattie B. Stokes Elementary is now open to all Lebanon Community School Corporation families. On April 16th, more than 100 people attended, providing food security to over 500 people. Our student resource officers have delivered an additional 20 families who were unable to attend because of transportation issues or self-quarantine issues. So we'd like to thank Kelly Solomon, the principal at Hattie B. Stokes, and her team of volunteers who've just gone above and beyond the call to help our families in the community. Central Elementary School has started the Quarantine 2020 Running Club. The Tiger Cubs and their families are invited to get moving, logging their running now through May 15th. So you can check that out on their website or request some information from our offices. We'll make sure we get you connected to that. That's a good reminder to me. I need to get registered for that myself. Not only is our learning virtual, but our schools are getting creative with other virtual celebrations as well. Tomorrow night, the high school athletic department will air the Winter Sports Award ceremony. And that's going to be a unique venue. They're going to have the ceremony that will be viewed by all the teams. And then I believe the coaches will go into separate rooms using the Zoom video conferencing technology to do their team awards. So with their folks. So kind of a creative way to do it. And just like graduation, I know they can't wait to be able to celebrate together. And Harney Elementary is planning a virtual talent show. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be invited to some of that to see some of the talents of our Harney Elementary students. And that's all I have for superintendent announcements this evening.
All right, thank you. And I just want to echo on the food service. I mean, 10,310 meals is
It's amazing.
phenomenal.
Yes.
So, okay, item number 2, approval of minutes. This is for our March 17th meeting. I need a motion to accept our minutes from March 17th.
I'll make the motion.
That'd be Robert.
I'll second.
Liz?
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions about those minutes?
No.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the March 17, 2020 minutes signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Item number 3, certify executive session content. This was for on our meeting on April 1st, 2020. This was to discuss a job performance evaluation of individual employees. Need a motion to accept the executive session content.
Motion.
Lisa?
Yep.
Second? I'll second it. Any questions about the executive session meeting? Okay.
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Audience to visitors.
We have not received any requests.
Yeah, we have not received any requests by email, and nobody's here except for Officer Smith. Officer Smith, you have any questions? All right. Okay, item number 5, consent agenda for routine business matters. Mr. Tate.
Yes, before I do the financial report, I'd like to provide some information to the board and the community. When we first started this stay-at-home, I contacted our local agent at McGowan Insurance and our carrier at Liberty to see if we could get a credit on our fleet coverage for our buses. And we've just received notification that that will happen, and further details will come forward. I also contacted our workman's comp provider, Caitlin Morgan, and asked for the same thing, and they're making that consideration, supposed to report back to me soon. So appreciate the services of our local agent and Liberty and Caitlin Morgan in this time of need. At this time, our financial report for our education fund, 20.60% of our budget has been expended. Operations fund, 18.52% of our budget's been expended. I'd ask approval of claims numbered 50954 through 51113, and the payrolls dated March 20th, April 3rd, and April 17th. The claims total $2,196,533.11. Payrolls total $573,271.42 for a total of $3,769,804.53. Ask approval of those claims and the payrolls, please.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to pay our employees and pay our bills.
I'll make that motion.
Liz,
Uh-huh.
second.
I'll second.
Robert? Any questions about those claims, payments, payroll?
No.
Okay. All those in favor of our claims and payments 50954 through 51113 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item number 6, routine staff matters. Dr. Millman.
Thank you, Ms. Bertrand. We have under our classified staff this evening 6A, a custodian recommended for hire, Ms. Leanna Jones. Under certified staff this evening, Martha Smith, a special needs teacher, Lebanon High School, has submitted her letter of retirement effective June 1st, 2020. To bring that for your approval this evening. And also under certified, Mr. Tate, our assistant superintendent, has submitted to me his letter of retirement as assistant superintendent effective June 30th of 2021. But also under this item, I am extremely pleased to recommend to the board that we offer Mr. Tate a contract as Chief Financial Officer upon his retirement in 2021 to return as the Chief Financial Officer for the district for the 2021-22 school year through the 2023-24 school year. I know that we are all grateful for as many years of service, and we are, I at least, as a new superintendent, am grateful upon your consideration this evening that will benefit from his expertise, and now I can say friendship for an additional 3 years following that retirement. So I am very pleased to bring that to you this evening. Under 6C, also Kelly Solman recommends the hiring of Lisa Wiry for the temporary kindergarten position at Hattie B. Stokes. This is covering a maternity leave of Hannah Hackett. And Lisa is a former instructional assistant at Stokes and has completed her student teaching there. She has a great familiarity with the student body and staff at Stokes. Mr. Dunshee is recommending Mackenzie Lawrence for the temporary language arts position at Lebanon Middle School. This is to cover the early retirement of Tammy Stewart, which was previously approved by the board. Mackenzie was a substitute teacher for the corporation, and she completed her student teaching at Lebanon Middle School, so she also has a familiarity with the staff and the students in the building there. That's all I have for the routine staff matters this evening.
Okay.
Mr. Bertrand, I'm going to be abstaining from this vote since my wife is in it.
That's fine.
We could separate them, I suppose, if you wanted to vote on those others. We could.
That's fine. It's fine. We don't
Okay.
have to.
We got
I'll
a
just-
quorum. Okay.
We'll make sure we have you as abstain, so. Okay, board, I need to make a motion to accept the classified, certified staff communications that Dr. Millman just presented.
I'll make that motion.
Liz,
Mhm.
second. Lisa?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about any of that, any of the communication that Dr. Millman just shared with us?
No, but I am very glad that we are not going to lose Charles either. So
Yeah.
thank you, Charles.
I appreciate your consideration very much. Thank you.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Charles is a valuable asset, and yes, he's retiring. He's not going to get his cake. He'll come back, so we're glad to have him for 3 more years.
I might
Maybe
get him a
cup-
cupcake.
Cupcakes.
Get
You
him
can still work out the Walmart
I'll
card.
get him a Hostess cupcake.
You do
Actually,
something.
Yeah.
maybe a dozen
just
of
have to
Jennifer's
promise you'll
chocolate chip
come
cookies.
back.
He really digs those chocolate chip cookies. That might happen. We might be able to make that happen.
Okay.
But I'll make him pay for it.
Right.
We'll have a really cheap cake.
Yeah. Okay. All
Make his
those
own
in
banana bread.
All those in favor of accepting the agenda for routine staff matters signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And let's just have the record state that Mr. Wiry did abstain from item number 6C. So, thank you. Item number 7, request approval of resolution for donations of supplies and materials. Dr. Millman.
Thank you, Mr. Bertrand. We don't always bring every donation that we give to another organization or agency to the board for your approval. There are some steps in the CARES Act from the federal government, from the and/or state, from all of the legislative bodies that's allocating dollars to school districts for potential reimbursement during the COVID-19 crisis. We will have the opportunity to submit excess costs that schools incur during this crisis for potential reimbursement from state and/or federal government. One of the things I may be bringing more to you, depending on what we are able to help our agencies with. But in order for us to receive those reimbursements, it does require the board to provide these resolutions certifying these donations for potential reimbursement. And that's why I bring that for your consideration this evening.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to approve the resolution for donations of supplies and materials. As indicated, this is something the governor and the state is making us do. So I need a motion for that, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any questions about this this line item for the resolution of donation supplies?
I had a question. I just, thank you for taking the initiative to donate what we had in the building
Sure.
when it was, very, still needed, but thanks for doing that and stepping up on our behalf.
You're welcome, and I'll give credit to the gentleman off camera over here to my left. Mr. Martin has been in almost constant contact with our local, state, and state health agencies throughout this, and he stepped up. Mr. Smith as well, and we've really, I think, worked as a team in the community. And we know, as has been said by the governor and his team multiple times, when we're able to reopen, we're all going to be in this together again, because very likely PPE and those types of considerations are going to be part of that ability to open. So we're all going to have to continue to work together on this.
Okay. No further questions. I need we motion. So all in favor of accepting the resolution for the donation and supplies of materials by the state signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Who made the motion second on that one?
Robert and Lisa.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Item number 8, request approval of revised 2019-2020 calendar. Dr. Millman.
Thank you. This is a bit of a retroactive approval, but in similar fashion, this is one of the functions of school boards in the state of Indiana, is to approve the academic calendar for the school district. As you know, we are working under this new revised calendar, which we're attending school, if you will, Monday through Wednesday and Thursday, Friday, our staff are working and our faculty is working available to students. We're not teaching new material and covering the new material on those days. But this is a bit of a retroactive request for approval, but it is one that we want to make sure that is certified by the board in case we need to show that documentation at any point in time.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to approve the revised 2019-2020 school calendar.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second,
I'll second.
Lisa. Any questions about this? The only thing, I have a question is,
Sure.
you know, are we still having, I mean, are we not having any issues with, I mean, is everybody getting accustomed to this?
There's going to be bumps in the road.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's going to take a while. I mean, by the time it'll take us to hit a stride. It's going to be the year's going to be over. I think some folks are still getting used to due dates and how the best way to connect with students is. I know that it can be frustrating if a student has a sign-on that drops, or if they're being linked to another exterior link, from Canvas, if the teacher has linked an article or to a video that the student may need to see, and the connection drops, or maybe by the time the student opens it, that it's a dead web link or something that nature. So the student used to be able to walk up to the teacher's desk and say, "Hey, this doesn't work," and now it can take hours or a day and then that causes some panic among the students and staff and parents because the work's not getting. There's a lot of just those things that happen.
Right.
But as far as having the applications available and working, we did open up Zoom for student use, and as you know, and I thank you for your help in that as well. And I think that's helped. We've seen some more full class participation. I think that app has kind of helped with some of those communication issues, but it's going as well as it can, under the circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we still have a percentage of students that have not logged on at all yet?
There is a number of students who are struggling with getting connected. There's a series of communication that is attempted, starting with teacher, administration, and our student resource officers have made many wellness checks on homes to.
Is it
to
getting
get-
connected or just not wanting to
we
get connected?
we do have maybe a few spots where students have indicated a difficulty in connecting. There is an opportunity for students to be able to move to a Wi-Fi hotspot, a free hotspot. We've made those places known through a map for the parents. And you can go to one of those locations, download a lot of the information, and then when it's time to turn it back in, get to a hotspot to turn some of that back in. Our issue has not necessarily been about connectivity. It's been about motivation and the students getting that work done. So yes, there is some. Is it a majority of the students? No. Is it a concerning number? Yes. I mean, one would be concerning, but it's more in the dozens than it would be, in single digits like you would like it to be.
Okay.
So that is something that is a concern. And if students were performing on grade level, and are now not connecting, I think there may be some mindset from some that, they'll just repeat a year. That's not how it's going to work. I mean, we're going to get another class of kindergartners in the fall. So those are decisions that our administrators will make, and so we're really pressing those families and students because we need them to stay engaged in some level to practice the material so that they can be successful in that next grade level. But met with the seniors, as I mentioned earlier. They're connected through all kinds of social media channels that we're not. They're pretty honest and candid with me. And as far as the high school was concerned, they'd love to be here with their friends, but they feel like all in all, it's gone pretty well.
Right.
So I think as the students mature in age, it becomes a little bit more
Right.
doable for them. So,
All right, any other questions? Okay. All those in favor of the revised school calendar for 2019-2020 signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Item number 9, requesting permission to apply for the Common School Tech Loan. Mr. Tate.
Yes, at this time I'd like to ask board permission to apply for another Common School Tech loan. The amount would be $334,600. This would support the expenses of a software called MindPlay. MindPlay was used at the middle school this year. It is a reading and literature support and intervention program. Middle school used it at 6th grade and had fantastic results. Curriculum directors looked at this. All the elementary principals and middle school principals have looked at this and think it's a great direction for us to head. So I'd like to ask board permission to apply for that loan. If we do move forward with this, it would be expended and then show up on our debt service in 2022.
All right, board, I need a permission to apply for the Common School Tech Loan. The total is $334,600.
I'll make the motion.
Robert? Second?
I'll second.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Any questions about the Common School Tech Loan? Okay. All those in favor of applying for the Common School Tech Loan for $334,600 signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Item number 10, Geo Bond 2020. Mr. Tate.
Yes, there's 4 items here. One is a hearing, the other 3 are resolutions. We'll do all these separately.
Okay.
We'll first start with information. The school corporation is funding projects through the issuance of a general obligation bond. The proceeds from this bond issue must be appropriated prior to being spent on the project. Notice of this hearing was advertised in the local paper. At this time, I would open the floor up for any comments, questions, or concerns from the board or the public.
Any questions? Okay.
Hearing none, I suggest we close the hearing, Mr. President.
Yep.
Okay. At this time, I'll move on to item 10B, adopting an additional appropriation resolution. The school board must approve the appropriation of the bond proceeds to be spent on the project cost. Unlike appropriations of tax dollars, this additional appropriation of bond proceeds is not required to be approved by the Department of Local Government Finance. So I ask approval of the additional appropriation resolution.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to adopt the additional appropriation resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Second? I'll make it. Any
I'll
questions?
second.
I got it, Robert. I second.
Okay, sorry.
Any questions about the additional appropriation resolution?
No.
Okay. All those in favor of the additional appropriation resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Next, I'd ask for approval of the final bond resolution. The final bond resolution establishes the amount to be borrowed, the maximum term of repayment, and maximum interest rate. It also contains the details about the bonds, such as the form of the bond. Ask approval of the final bond resolution.
Okay. Board, I need a motion for the final bond resolution. Gives all the details about the bond.
I'll make that motion.
Robert? Second?
I'll second.
Lisa? Any questions about that? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the final bond resolution signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right.
Thank you. And last item under number 10 is the adopt the amended restated issuance procedures. The school corporation shall consider and approve the amended and restated post-issuance compliance procedures. Ask approval for that at this time.
Board, I need a motion to adopt the amended and restated issuance procedures.
I'll make a motion. Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
Got Lisa as a,
All yours.
Lisa's made it, Liz made the second. Any questions? Okay. All those in favor to adopt the amended and restated issuance procedures signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you. So our next thing that will happen here is we'll be working with bond counsel. They will be putting these out for bid, and we'll accept the appropriate bid and should receive the money in mid-June for this bond issue.
Okay,
Appreciate your support on that.
no problem.
Can't predict the future, but all signs are pointing to this as a good time to be doing that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, item number 9, request approval to purchase a new tractor. Mr. Tate.
Yes, Don Montgomery worked with local companies to receive quotes for a tractor for our grounds department, received quotes from Edwards, Bain Welker, and Reynolds. At this time, I ask board approval to purchase the tractor from Reynolds for $24,544, and that includes them receiving our trade-in.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to accept the purchase of a new tractor from Reynolds Equipment at $24,544.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Any questions about this new tractor?
Not the tractor, just Edwards. Is that a local dealer? Where are they from?
The last time I tried that, I was way off.
Yeah, Franklin, Indiana. I think when you
I was on the other side. I was on the other side of the
I
state.
said it was local, but I guess I'm not 100% on that, Lisa.
Okay, but we did get Reynolds and Bain Welker, and they
Yes.
both had the opportunity to
Yes.
bid. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of accepting the purchase of a new tractor from Reynolds Farm Equipment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Request approval of football light replacement contract. Mr. Tate.
To bring this to the board for consideration, as you know, we accepted bids for the football replacement lights as an alternate. We did not accept that alternate last month. Since then, there's been some new circumstances, I would say. Musco came to us and said that if we worked through a co-op, that we could have football lights replaced at $225,000, which is $50,000 less than the alternate offered to us. Also, they're willing to throw in a entertainment lighting package at no additional cost. And then the other item that makes this palatable at this time is they're willing to finance it. So we would have the option to pay for the lights. Once the project's completed, we could pay for it in full. If we do not have the funds available, then we could work out a financing option with them, and they've offered 1-year, 2-year, or 3-year payments. So at this time, I'm bringing this to the board for their consideration. It would finish off the complex. We put new bleachers up, resurface the track, it'll be turf, new lights, so we put new press box, et cetera, out there, so it would complete that project. And with the option that we can pay for it once we're completed, or finance if we need to. So we have funds that we've not committed in the refinancing of the high school bond in excess of $320,000. We're kind of holding that in case we have unknown things happen with the existing projects. So we may have that available to pay. We may have some reductions in some of our costs. We may not use all of our contingency money that's set up in these projects, so we may have funds available there. Also, we could, if none of those work, we could revert to using some of the 2018 GEO bond funds. We may delay one of the projects we had set up in 2022. We could pay for it over 2 or 3 years out of the operating fund. And at last option, we could go to the rainy day fund. So I think with all of those options and the ability for us to put up new lights at the football field. I'd like to bring this to the consideration for the board, to work with Musco on this project for $225,000.
Okay. Board, I need approval of the football light replacement contract for $225,000.
I'll make the motion.
Robert, second.
I'll second.
I got Liz.
Liz, I think. Yep.
Okay. Any questions about that? All right. All those in favor of accepting the football light replacement contract for $225,000 signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, I'll work with the contractor and Schmidt on that first thing tomorrow morning.
All right. Item number 13, request approval of farm rental agreement with Jackson Farms. Mr. Tate.
Yes, I reached out to our developer for the acreage behind the middle school, and he's guaranteed me that they will not be turning any ground in 2020. So I reached out to Dean Jackson, see if he'd be willing to continue to farm that property under a farm rental agreement. He did agree to that for a rent of $15,000. So I'm recommending a one-year contract with Mr. Dean Jackson for this.
Okay. Board, I need approval for a one-year farm agreement with Jackson Farms. I'll make
I'll
the
make
motion.
motion.
I'll put Lisa, and I'll second it. Any questions about that farm rental agreement with Jackson Farms? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the approval for the farm rental agreement with Jackson Farms for 1 year signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Board, I need a motion to add an agenda item. So I'm asking you right now if I can get your permission to add an agenda, if I can get your vote to add agenda item to this agenda? Somebody make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Second? I will.
I'll second.
I got you. All right, so all those in favor of letting me add an agenda item to this agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion is approved. So the agenda item we need to add is extend land agreement. And I'm gonna have Dr. Millman talk about that, please.
Sure. We have had some conversation in the last few days with Gradison Land Development Incorporated. The board has already approved a purchase agreement of the 64 plus or minus acres for the housing developments. As we know, they partnered with David Weekley Homes for that property. In the current economic situation caused by the COVID-19 crisis, construction loans, movement within some developments have slowed. And also, they're continuing to work with the city of Lebanon on the planning side on some details there. I know they're working hard to meet some of those expectations. So what they have requested, and I'm requesting this evening, is an addendum to that contract, granting them 180 days or 6-month extension to get that city approval so that they can begin. Of course, unsaid in a 180-day extension is that it may not be needed. 180 days may not be needed. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it might be a 30-day need or a 60-day need. But this does give them a little bit more cushion, which we believe I believe is realistic under the circumstances. As you know, they've done everything we've asked them to do throughout this agreement process, and so that is the reason why we are asking for your consideration on addendum for a 180-day extension with Gradison in order to fulfill all the necessary steps in order to complete that purchase.
Board, I'm asking you for a motion to add an addendum to the land agreement with Gradison for 6 months.
I'll make the motion.
Robert? Second? I'll make that
second.
motion. I'll put it. Any questions about this addendum?
So ostensibly, that means that if they get started 6 months later, then they will be finished 6 months later than we anticipate? Or more?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of accepting the addendum to the land contract agreement with Gradison signify by saying aye. Hold on, for 6 months. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Other business. Our next board meeting will be on May 19th here at the Herman B. Wells, and we'll be doing the same setup, I'm sure. Any other new business or other business from the board?
I just want to say big thank you to Dr. Milliman and all teachers who've worked so hard to put e-learning together, the new calendar, figure out graduation, and especially, getting the input from the students, the seniors. I think that was a really great thing. And even, what we're trying to do, with signs and everything for them, I think is wonderful. So I personally have received nothing but positive feedback on the work of Dr. Milliman and the administrators and the teachers and the board for that matter. So just wanted to say thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. It's
Any here?
it's a great team.
Yeah.
We have a list that we go through each week in cabinet, and it's a growing list. It seems like we're adding more things to check off than we've checked off, but we'll get through it.
Right.
So, if you don't mind, Mr. Bertrand, as long as we're thanking people, we have a gentleman. He's back in the control booth. That's allowed us to have this mixed media meeting we have this evening. Wade Thatcher is kind of a genius when it comes to all of this, and so I just wanted to thank him publicly for all of his hard work. He's the athletic winter sports banquet tomorrow evening is in large part to his effort. He will be kind of the linchpin as we develop that senior tribute video in May with his expertise. So I'm thanking him in advance for that. He and Bethany are running that help desk, which, as you can imagine, the technology help desk is inundated with calls. So both of them are doing a great job of triaging issues for students and families throughout this e-learning process. Bethany Newsom, I'm going to mention her as well, and Bronson and his team. If devices go down, we have to try to get them swapped out, and we have to, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with our tech department in order to pull this off. So I just wanted to echo what Lisa was saying, and on that thank you bandwagon, and make sure folks know the people behind the scenes are working day and night to make this happen.
Right, absolutely. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay. I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.